professor in the design department here. And I chose a small, very quiet photo by Hernandez to talk about because it particularly resonated with the kind of creative work and the research and the teaching I'm doing right now. I teach courses in sustainable design, trying to get the next generation of designers to be more cognizant of their impact on the environment. And my work has to do with the intersection of nature and culture, particularly in light of the global climate change that's happening so rapidly nowadays, and with the environmental degradation. And I like this piece by Hernandez for that reason, and I'll explain why. A little background on him. He fought in the Vietnam War, and when he came back to Los Angeles, he began taking photographs. So since this was 1969, I'm assuming it was shortly after he got back from Vietnam. And he belongs to a genre of photographers known as street photographers who do these street scenes, seemingly almost random street scenes that all of us see every day, but we tend not to register or notice in any deep way. And I found a quote by him, and I thought I would read it to you to give a little idea of what he's about. He said, "Some people ask, what's so important or compelling about taking pictures of such unpleasant subjects like city dwellers? My work may be beautiful or it might not be, but that isn't what I'm concerned with. I try to be open and face the city. To me, it's not unpleasant or unbeautiful, it's just life, which has to be threatening sometimes if it's going to be interesting." So I thought that was a really good way of expressing what he has here. And you can see he'll cut off his subjects' heads and just have parts of their bodies, etc. And I picked this particular piece because, as I said, it resonated with me. To me, the space itself is very empty. It's a nowhere place. It's a transit place between one place and another place. It's a place that all of us would like to hurry past and not spend too much time in. And it is a place that is completely devoid of nature, and I think that's what's so chilling about it. There isn't a blade of grass, there's not even a stray leaf, insect, or anything. The only living thing is the man in black in here. And the other interesting thing about this is you can see no sky, and it is almost devoid of shadows. So the depth perception is off on it, and you don't know whether it's day or night. And so there's no time about it. It's rather timeless. And it has just these very simple elements, two vertical elements. It has the white column, and it has the man in black. And the man in black appears to be weighing himself. So a machine is taking his measure, which I think is interesting. I was thinking of a story about the man in black, and I decided that he's probably a person who is waiting for a bus or a train, and he's so bored that he doesn't have anything else to do, and he's just going to weigh himself because to pass the time. And then he will go on and do whatever he wants to do. But we have this totally blank wall, and I'm surprised there's no graffiti on it. And then we have a very gritty sidewalk that's quite dirty. And Hernandez took it in such a way that there is a slight diagonal in it, right here. And he also has two different vanishing points. So it's a seemingly simple picture, but in many ways it has a complexity about it, which I think is very interesting. And I thought of it in terms of the art historian Barbara Matilsky. She wrote a book called Fragile Ecologies, which I use a lot in my teaching. And she says that artists are very sensitive barometers to cultural change. She said, when we overlay environmental history with the history of art, there often exists a striking correlation between changes in the physical environment and the emergence of new art forms and images. Several significant developments in art appear to coincide with periods characterized by environmental stress. And I think that's the kind of period we're going through today. She goes on to say that artists, society's most sensitive observers of internal and external realities, can help us to understand and renew our vital connection to the earth. And in this particular piece, I see it as a late 20th century expression of the kind of anonymity and isolation and separation from nature that is often encountered in a large city of this kind. And I'm assuming it's probably taken in Los Angeles. And I found a wonderful quote from another photographer who works in LA, Louis Baltz, and he said, "I always believed that God would destroy LA for its sins. Finally, I realized that he had already destroyed it, and then left it around as a warning." So that's where I'm ending today. Thank you.